I look at this fight and I think actually the place to build the Wilder fight is here in the UK. I mean, neither guy is a huge star in America yet, so we'll have to see. But that fight is huge in Britain, so everything tells me that maybe Britain is the place for that fight. One of the problems, because you cannot possibly think that a fighter with a commercial value, particularly like Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder, should warrant anywhere near a 50% split in the pot. And that's not being disrespectful. But they will demand that because in their head, they will think, I'm champion, my belt is on the line, that is the split. If that is their position, of course, the fights will never happen. But Wilder and Parker are still going to get absolutely giant paydays from fighting Joshua on whatever they're offered. They've got to be treated with respect. It's not just a case of there's a couple of million, take the fight. But they've also got to understand the size of Anthony Joshua. But we also understand that we want the belts. The public wants to see those fights. So we have to try and make them. And sometimes a split is needed that AJ doesn't like to get those fights. But we'll see. He is in a great position. Those are the words of promoter Eddie Hearn, talking about potential unifications between Anthony Joshua and WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder and also WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker. He's saying that there's no way Parker or Wilder deserve a 50% split. Now, at the end of the day, people, boxing comes down to popularity. That's where you get your money from. Generally, anyway. You know, the more popular you are, the more money you're going to get. The more potential to earn money you have, at least, depending on what kind of business you have with your promoter and manager, so on and so forth, and television network. Anthony Joshua is a far bigger star, globally, than either Deontay Wilder or Joseph Parker. The person who would be putting up the majority of the money, you would have to imagine, for a unification between Joshua and either Parker or Wilder, would be the Anthony Joshua side of the equation. Eddie Hearn will be putting up most of the money for the fight. So, if he's putting up the most of the money, he's taking the risk, then he is in a position to tell you you're not taking 50%. If you want to pay for the fight, the other side, the Wilder side or the Parker side, if they want to pay for it, then they're going to have to come up with the money if they want 50%. And the 50% is going to have to be something that Joshua's happy with. You understand what I'm saying to you here? So it's all about who has the market value. You know, it's not really about achievements in terms of who gets what money. It's about who generates the most pay-per-view sales for their fights, who draws the biggest crowds. That's where money comes from in boxing. And like it or not, even if it's a guy who hasn't achieved, I'm just talking in general terms here, I'm not talking about Joshua, but even if it's a guy who hasn't achieved as much as his opponent, a good example would be Canelo versus Triple G, all right? Canelo got more money than Triple G, even though Triple G was the reigning middleweight champion. You know, Canelo achieved a lot in lighter weights, but as a middleweight, Triple G was the man. But yet Canelo got a lot more because Canelo's got the fans. Yeah, that's just the way it is in boxing. So I say all that to say this. Eddie Hearn can't be faulted for saying those guys can't get 50%. Can't really be faulted because, you know, he's putting up the money for it. Let me know what you feel in the comment section below, people. It's Hatman, I'm out.